What about you support single dad?
Welcome in, everybody. This is our pregame show. We play in Tennessee Titans today. It's your boy DaeDae. I'm gonna let everybody introduce themselves. I'm gonna start with you. Go ahead, Mr. One Pride.
What up, y'all? It's Mike. You can find me on X at @OnePride_JR.
Rich.
Hey, y'all, it's Richard. You can catch me on X at Riggs928.
Blue.
What's up? Your boy Blue's back. Same with the other two. You can catch me on X at BSilver92 or Blue and Silver.
And last but not least, Keegan.
I'm Keegan. You can find me at Insta and TikTok at ThatWingsFan97.
I just realized Keegan's PFP. It's funny. Sorry. Continue, Dave.
So, everybody ready for this game today?
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's been a long week. I hate that we only play once a week, to be honest with you. It's kind of a drag going from Sunday to Sunday. At least we're not having to wait till prime time or a 4:30 game. We're actually on 1 o'clock again today,
Yes, sir.
which is not always nice because, I love the primetime games and all that, man. But I hate sitting around watching other teams, play while I'm sitting there like, man, this is piss poor football compared to the way my team plays. So with that being said, our first topic today is what are our running backs going to do? I think they have a good game, mediocre game. I'll start with you, Rich, since you live in Tennessee.
Well, they do got a good defense. Tennessee does. Their front seven is probably their strength. But I mean, I trust our offensive line. So you got mano a mano. But man, Gibbs is starting to hit that next gear, man. He is
Thanks.
Man, that boy is special. For someone who has the agility and the quickness and all that he has, like, you can put him up through the middle. Like, there are some backs like him that they can't run 20 times a game. You can't put a bunch of carries on him. He's not one of them. Like, he can be a bell cow. He can come in. And I just love the way the Lions use him and Montgomery. It's like they share time, and then it's who's ever hot. You're getting a rock. And not one of those running backs ever complain. Matter of fact, they're the first one to congratulate each other when they do something well.
Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Keegan, since you piped up and said Sonic and Knuckles, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I honestly today, if anything, since obviously the whole JMO situation, I think we're going to rely on them a lot today in the sense of, trying to, just rush the ball and just overall, like, wanting them to have a lot of success against a struggling Titans team. So I think they'll do very well together. I think they'll do well. Obviously, you're praying that everything goes well today and all that, but I think for the most part they'll do pretty well. I could see them going for 50 plus for both, maybe. So, but I mean, who knows? But I think with how they've looked, especially, I mean, it was weird against the Vikings because Montgomery got hurt a little bit, but banged up per se, but he's fine. But I think they're going to have a really good game today. And honestly, I'm just glad to watch it for especially how long this week felt too.
And we'll let Mike go now, fresh off his ass whooping of Rich. Mike, go ahead.
Me and Rich got this tradition, man. He claimed I'm ducking on college football. I show up and I spank him, man. That's all.
But you really ducking DaeDae though.
Yeah, for facts, those are facts, though.
Hey, we'll play that game.
Yeah, you want to talk about quack.
We'll play that game today. But what I think we get back on track, and mainly Montgomery. I think he gets back on track. He runs a little bit angrier than he usually does after how that game almost ended last week. So Gibbs has been killing it. He's coming along, like Rich said earlier, and I think Montgomery gets some get back against Tennessee. This is a good defense, though. But we're one of the best running teams. So we played against one of the best rushing defenses last week and had a lot of success. So I don't see it stopping this week.
Before I get to you, Blue, Mike, I want to ask a question. What do you mean back on track for Monty? Do you think that – I know they pulled him after – or he never came back in after that fumble.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think that was just – he was a victim of what was going on in the game? Because Gibbs was the hot hand, and we know that this team tends to stick with the hot hand. Or do you think they really sat him or did not sat him but didn't put him back in the game because of that fumble?
No, I think it is – I think they trust him, so I think if they had to put him back in the game, they would have put him back in the game. But I think it was more so the former of what you said. I think, man, he was just Sonic was just getting it, man.
Sonic, bro, he's a Vikings killer, bro. He's a Vikings killer
from start to finish. Like he was getting it, like he was snatching ankles. Like we remember that run from last year when he snatched somebody's ankles. I can't remember who it was.
Dude on the Vikings.
Right. Yeah, so
maybe
the Vikings just set Sonic off. I don't know, but he was wrong. I think it was more so that than the fumble because I know they definitely believe in Montgomery, and that's not going nowhere. But just looking at his numbers, he only had 31 rushing yards. So that's what I'm mainly talking about. I'm not concerned about the fumbling. We know he's not a fumbler. That was an anomaly to what usually happens. So I think
you're looking at him to basically get back to 4 or 5 yards of chunk.
Yeah, more so that because I think he had like 9 for 31. So I'm looking for more so him getting back to being more efficient. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Well,
go ahead, Blue.
Mike was saying, get back on track is, most players if they fuck up, mess up, miss a catch, miss a block or something, you want to get back right. He never got his get back. So that's how I took Mike's thing is get back on track.
Yep, and that's exactly what I was saying. Yep, because he never got back into the game, like y'all said. So he's gonna get into the game today, and he's gonna make some Titans pay, man.
I mean, you seen the look on his face.
Oh yeah,
that whole last drive when he wasn't in. You could see it through the helmet. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's gonna take it out on Tennessee.
Oh. Well, go ahead, Blue. Let's get your thoughts on it real quick.
To the original question with the visual about, I think it was yards was the main question. Collectively, I expect at least 80 to 100 yards because that's been the standard with Sonic and Knuckles lately. Everybody made a great point how it is a good defense, and but there's a huge difference with that. It is a good defense, but we have a great offense, especially with our backs and O-line. So I'm not going to say it's going to be, easy mode. I'm not going to say it's going to be all rookie mode, but we should definitely expect a very productive day in the box score. And me, Mike, and DaeDae know me as well, and even Rich. You don't want to get lost in the box score because sometimes they don't show you the great plays they do make. because Sonic could go off for a 12-yard run and everybody's like, it's no big deal. It's not lighting up the box score. It's not going to make Sports Center. Or with Knuckles making like a hard 3-yard run. But again, for production-wise, I expect at least 80 to 100 because of the standard they set. But I think we should be very productive to what everybody said today.
I agree. I feel like our running backs are going to do what they normally do. Where our offensive line is playing right now, they're playing fantastic. Like that Tennessee D line, there are a couple guys in there you got to watch out for. Harold Landry and Simmons. Simmons could be a game wrecker. He really can.
They got Sweat today.
Oh yeah, that's right. They got Sweat. I thought Sweat got hurt this week. I
think he's
thinking
playing.
somebody else.
But the good thing is, Dave, if I can add that, I would say Simmons is my main, circle, threat, so to speak, in terms of game plan. But as we all know, we got the best center in football. So as long as Frank has his typical GOAT day, we'll be fine.
I don't know about Sweat if he's playing because looking at the injury report, it don't look really good. He don't look like he practiced the first day. Second day was limited, and then the last day, Friday, he did not practice.
What was the injury, Mike?
Usually, if you don't practice on Fridays, you don't play on Sundays.
Hip. They got it listed as a hip.
Oh, that's not good.
All right. Well, speaking of our offense, everybody knows what happened to us this week. We lost JMO for 2 games. So, that's definitely – I don't think that's going to hurt us today, but we're definitely going to see his impact of not being in there today. So, with that being said, who needs to step up this week now that JMO's not here? Is it going to be the likes of a Tim Patrick, or is it going to be Khalif, or our back's going to pick it up heavily today, or is it going to be Laporta? I mean,
That's who I got.
That's who you got today, Rich?
I think Laporta. I mean, for a lot of teams, I think this would really, really hurt. And I'm not saying it don't. He's a great player. He's made that next step, but we are so well-rounded. I mean, how many freaking teams can lean on a veteran like Allen Robinson? Yeah, he might not light up the box score, but he can go catch the ball for you. Yep. He can he can move the chain. What Patrick has done. Khalif had a outcoming game. And guys, I honestly think why it came out so late, I think JMO was thinking about challenging it, but I really do believe the Lions just told him, just go ahead and get it fucking done and over with. This is the best time to do it, just in case.
Well, you look at our schedule after these games too. It's we have the Titans, so that's one, and that's the Packers. That one kind of sucks, but at the same time, he's here for the rest of the season.
Yeah, you don't want to start losing them at the end of the year. So
yeah,
I have
especially
a feeling
doing
that maybe they told him, just go ahead and just take it. Get it done and over with in case, just in case, because you never know. I mean, that stuff can drag out, and then you lose them in, the playoffs or end of the season when you really need. You never know, So that's my opinion.
Mike, who do you think is going to step up for us today?
He took Laporta, and that was one of my 2 I had. So I'll go with my second guy. I'm gonna go with Gibbs. I think last couple of weeks they've been getting him more involved in the passing game. He's had 4 to 5 targets the last 2 games, and an average of 36 yards receiving the last 2 games. So maybe he can get to that 40-50 today. We'll see.
I hope so. I put him for 2 catches on my parlay. Let's go.
Always about DaeDae's parlay.
Hey man, DaeDae needs a new car over here.
Bro, that needs to be a separate thing for your channel.
DaeDae needs a new car over here. I need a cover for the back of my Xbox controller. I need some rechargeable batteries for my Xbox controller. I need to hit a parlay right here, bro.
He's down bad, bro. Hey, he ain't even asked me about my ticket today or nothing, man. See,
I don't ask people about their ticket who be ducking me, so.
Actually, he did, and you never responded. You ducked like you always do. Quack, quack.
I was about to say, I did respond and say we could have got one in before.
Oh yeah. If I wasn't hosting the show honestly this morning, because I'd be.
And that wound up being Rich. Rich caught your game, man. Rich, man, you stepped up in places they ain't got smoke.
Yeah, that's not a good
I got
replacement.
smoked
I'm
like
going
that
for Blue
cigarette
next.
day.
I'm
They
going for
smoked.
Blue next. Blue, you got college football?
What you mean by college football, Mike?
You
Oh,
got
here we go.
you hitting
I'm working, sir. I'm working to get it. Trust me, I will.
Okay.
Shit, go to the pawn shop. I got mine for $150. Ain't that much. But anyways, before we get off on that, Blue, who do you think steps up today?
I mean, I kind of don't want to take the Laporta answer, but of course, that's the obvious guy in my opinion.
Better.
JMO, I mean, it goes without saying, JMO is a loss because of what he adds to our offense. But I always go to the default in certain situations and matchups to where it's going to be a Laporta Amon-Ra game. Tim Patrick's been solid as they come. Can't overstate how much I love him on this offense now. Just be a collective unit, because I think we talked about this one time, day or two, and even with Mike and Rich. Like, what I love about our team, especially on offense, bro, like, bear with me when I say this. It's just a philosophy and just a bird's eye view, like, observation. It's not like we are the Patriots, but I remember when the Patriots were cooking, they were able to basically, be as efficient as fuck when they lost Julian to like a suspension or Gronk went down with an injury. We built an offense in kind of like the same philosophy in terms of like, as long as we got, basically as long as we stick to the system and we stick to the system that got us here, we could still be very productive on offense. It'll just be a little bit different stylistically and personnel wise, of course, because Khalif Raymond's been doing well for us over the years in that situation, or like Brock Wright, who you all know I love as tight end too on this team. It'll be stylistically different in the passing game. Of course, we all know what we're going to do in the running game. So just I expect us to be business as usual. We'll be lightening up on the scoreboard just a little differently because of JMO. But my default answer would be Amon-Ra and Sam Laporta this game.
Keegan?
Honestly, if I was going to go with anybody, I'd say Reynolds is. They're probably going to rely on him a little bit too to probably make some catches and whatnot. But Clef.
Oh,
You mean? Oh, you fucked up, didn't you? You meant I think he was trying to imply Khalif Raymond, but he said Craig Reynolds on accident.
No, I said Raymond.
Oh,
you said Reynolds. You said Reynolds.
I thought you said Raymond.
I said Raymond. Sorry, my bad.
No, you
Yeah,
said
you ain't
got
getting
3
out of
people
that one, buddy. Buddy,
No.
old pal.
It's all right, man. Shit happens. You meant to say.
But
Bro,
anyway,
I'm usually the one with the brain farts. Don't feel bad.
I think Raymond, they're going to use him a little bit more today in the sense of like, trying to catch passes and whatnot. And obviously kind of the basic answers with like, St. Brown and Laporta. I think I talked about last show. I think it was on What Up Though, but I think Laporta, he hasn't been used as much this year. So I think this year, right, or at least today, they're going to use him a lot more just because like he's available more, but I think it all depends and it has to be at the right moment, if that makes any sense.
No,
Well,
it makes sense.
My pick is, everybody knows what today is, don't you?
National Tight Ends Day.
Yeah, today's National Tight Ends Day, so that's my pick. Is Laporta's going to step up today, and that leads us into the next topic. Laporta get a tud this week, another one, because it's National Tight Ends Day.
Situationally, yes, because bro, like, I'm not trying to glaze, but he's arguably one of the best red zone targets in the game when he's fed.
Oh, 100%.
And the reason his touchdowns and his targets are down this year, he's a victim of circumstance.
Yeah, we're that loaded, bro. And of course, like I said earlier, just philosophy-wise, like, we can pick up the slack if, God forbid, we lose an Amon-Ra, a JMO.
Don't put that hex on us.
I'm just saying, I say this, God forbid, like I said, but again, like, we just have that Patriots philosophy, and I appreciate it because in the past, we all know as Lions fans, God forbid we lose Calvin, God forbid we lose Golden Tate or whoever was on offense, we're donezo.
Well. Anybody else got anything on Laporta? You think he finds the end zone today?
I mean, I think
100%, to be honest.
Definitely could.
I think because it's National Tight Ends Day, And generally, like, it shows in games that are played on National Tight Ends Day. You watch, there's going to be a lot of tight ends that do big things today. Like, I fully believe in this National Tight End Day. So I think
Yeah,
Laporta has a massive.
you can build a tight end parlay on Tight Ends Day.
You ain't telling me nothing I don't know.
Like I now that
I wake up, have my coffee, smoke my morning cigarette, and play on fantasy. So first, like 45 minutes of my day.
I wouldn't be surprised if Laporta has 2 tutties, like like a corner around the end zone, or something, or like a fade route, just like those little guys, after he gets those bigger like gains across the middle and seam routes, basically that's the type of game I see him having. But in terms of parlay, yeah, the 2 tutties, I could easily see it in red zone areas, in the red zone situation.
All right, our next topic. Well, we're on the offense. Do we keep it rolling, or do we stumble a little bit because Jamal's not in there? Like I said earlier, I don't think it's going to be a huge notice that Jamal's out of there, but we're definitely going to see it. Do you think we stumble at all, or we just keep this train fucking rolling as we're at right now?
It doesn't help that I've been doing like the whole. I kind of answered the question already, but I saw Ben Johnson in the highlight. As long as he doesn't get out of his groove, we'll be fine. We'll be straight. I will say in probably tough situations, like maybe like a 3rd and 7, and like for some reason Ben Johnson wants Goff to go down the field to Raymond. That could be a tough situation we don't make. Like maybe we'll have some spurts, like 1 or 2, but I don't think it will deeply hurt us as a lot of. I'll be funny with this. A lot of casuals think on in the NFL community, but yeah, like it'll be here and there, but it won't be like a downfall type of situation.
Okay.
The Lions inactives just came out.
Yeah, no, we're gonna get to that. I got it. Anybody else on our offense, Mike?
No, I don't think it's going to sputter. I think we'll be fine. We've dealt with this before last season, and we were okay. Ben Johnson and that offense and the players we have and the quarterback we got in the center, they're going to be just okay, just fine.
I agree with that.
Do y'all think he's improved on his 3rd quarter?
Yes.
100%.
It's getting there. Like, it's better.
Now, as a team, Rich, are you saying as a team or Ben Johnson?
It's definitely better than last year.
I mean, they go hand in hand.
Right, but I just remember most of us, besides Keegan, we were highlighting the fact that Ben Johnson ghosts us in the 3rd quarter because the defense, I mean, it depends on the game, but I remember it was specifically Ben Johnson because we'll get frustrated. Like, I don't even think we would even score points in the 3rd quarter. That's how bad it was last year, surprisingly. So that's why I asked the question, Rich, because
shit.
Well, yeah, to Mike's point, I want to say 100% because, I haven't seen like flashes of last year in the 3rd quarter where we're just cooking. And then for some reason, we just look like pathetic in the 3rd quarter offensively.
Mike, go ahead.
This is about the Ben Johnson thing that Richards asked?
Yeah, about the 3rd quarter struggles?
Yeah, I think we've been better than last year. I think we're good in the 3rd quarter.
Defense has showed up more in the 3rd quarter. Offense is getting there. Quickly before we move to our next topic, shout out to the 144 viewers that are watching us this morning.
Appreciate you.
You guys are all Lions fans. We ready to rock and roll. Remember to please like and subscribe on YouTube. And once we reach 500 subscribers, we'll be giving away a Detroit Lions jersey of your choice. So we talked about our offense a lot. Pretty much our first 5-6 things we talked about was all offense. So let's talk about our defense. What does our defense have to do today?
My key is obviously the D ends.
Well, Rich, you brought up hold on, Rich, before you go, you brought up the inactive report. It kind of ties into our D line. You want to read it?
Pascal's out.
No, I'll read them all.
So
make me laugh. real quick.
Hess, Manu,
Strickland,
Strickland.
and Sorsdahl.
Yeah, Sorsdog.
But there's another D
I
lineman
got
who's
the
inactive.
Titans too.
You got the Titans inactives too?
Yeah, they got so Spears, so their second string running back, Will Levis, Jerome Baker. They just got him in that trade, so they're going to be a backup middle linebacker because they traded him for Ernest Jones. Snead is out, so their number one corner. Petit Friere, their right tackle, so he's out. And then 2 tight ends I never heard of, David Martin Robinson and Thomas Odekoya.
So Sweat is playing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, go ahead with your D-line point, Rich. That
Yeah,
was the big one I want to hear with Pascal's out.
So with Pascal out, with Hutch out, and with Davenport out, your only defensive end you got from starting from day one is Levi, and he was swing.
In
you
the
know,
league. Well, he's
Well,
interior. Yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead.
But Levi played, outside and inside. So, now that I speak of it, that's going to be my guy today. I think Levi's going to get a lot of PT at one of them DN spots. I think he has a good game.
So you're saying that Levi is going to kind of fill in where Pascal is supposed to be today, correct?
Yeah, but I think, and I don't know if y'all agree with me or not, I think Levi is the better pass rusher of the two.
Of him and Pascal?
Out of him and Pascal, solely.
100%. 100%. Mike?
What was the question? You said who's going to step up on D?
Yeah. Or what's our D guy? Basically, what's our defense have to do to stop this Titans offense or lack thereof?
I can't even lie. Like, Titans offense is one of the worst offenses in the league, man. Like, it's not even an NFL offense, and that's due to a lot of things. We're lucky. Well, they're lucky. Will Levis isn't out there on the field. It's not like Mason Rudolph is any better. Like, saying he's better is comparing trash to another piece of trash. But
so it's like Davis. It's like Davis Warren. It's like Davis Warren to Jack Tuttle. Is that what you're saying?
Hey, we beat Michigan State last night. Go Blue.
Pretty much, but I'm not going to celebrate.
Hey, hold on. Shout out to Rich real quick because he stays steady Eddie no matter what Michigan does. Half of the Michigan fans that I know were ready to walk out on Michigan yesterday. And then once the game was over and they won, they came in there fucking banging drums, running their mouth like they was like top shit. So just a quick shout out to Rich right there, man. Steady Eddie with Michigan.
Appreciate that.
We're still on the same time.
It's still fuck Michigan at the end of the day, though.
To get back to what I'm saying, the offense, like, they're dealing with injuries as well. Like, their wide receivers are going to try out there today. Like, oh man, like, it's just not going to be good, man. Not going to be good. They traded D-Hop. What's his name is hurt. Let me go back to their injury report and see if he's
Ridley's playing. Ridley's playing.
Yep.
So he'll be playing, but he's been dealing with a foot, and he didn't practice the first 2 days of practice. He had a full practice on Friday, so he's going to be banged up out there. And just their receiving core outside of him is not really that good. And he's not that great, having a great season this year either due to quarterback play. So I don't think our defense is going to have an issue with Tennessee at all.
So with Spears being out, who's behind Spears? Because it's Pollard and who else after that? Anybody know?
I don't even know who the guy would be.
Chestnut? Because what's his name? Haskins left and he's in the Chargers. Blue, you got anything to add on our defense? I know you're a defensive guy here.
Oh, yeah. I was just waiting patiently because I just got back. I had to take care of something. So, in terms of defense, obviously, stop the run, make them one-dimensional. I think Mike highlighted, if I'm correct, the wide receiver problem they have. So, it should be, take care of business with our secondary because they haven't been playing good, even if TA's a rookie, which he's been playing pretty solid ball. I would say to add to the discussion, an original point, I would say I know we've been better at tackling the last couple weeks, but keep that trend up because, take care of business game, right? Tackle well, cover well, take care of business, bro. This is a matchup served well for our defense to feast on. DaeDae, you muted yourself, bro.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to. I had to talk.
It was an awkward pause. I was like,
because Keegan left. I'm not too worried with their offense really, because their O line's not even really that good. So I expect to have a little pressure on Mason Rudolph.
especially up the middle too.
I like their tight end Okongwu. He's got a weird name. It's like Okongwu or something like that. I like him. He's all right. He's a big body tight end. But other than that, man, I don't see our defense having too much problems today. I really don't. I don't expect the Titans to do much.
Like I said, I think I told you and Mike, it's like the Panthers game last year. Just take care of business. We all know they're struggling. The record says this, but, we all know Dan Campbell won't let them slip and get big-headed. So just take care of business, man.
No. All right. Well, we talked about the D-line a little bit. Obviously, we think that our D-line is going to just obliterate them pretty much. Oh, anybody want to add anything on that topic? Our D-line versus their O-line and the running backs?
I'll say this. Obviously, we know our edge situation, so I'll highlight the fact that I think our interior should do very well against their interior O-line. And shout out to the linebackers, bro. The last 2-3 games, they've been cooking. And in this situation, this is another game for them to feast in terms of they're shutting down the run game. I hope to see Jack Campbell have another great game. Shit, I would love to see a pick six. I've been waiting for that. But, yeah, Rodrigo, of course, has been filling in well. Anzalogi's been a dog. So glad that everybody stopped shitting on him for the longest time because that was getting annoying. Kind of like
AA. Man, yeah. When AA first got here, he deserved some of the shit talk that he got. Now, man, AA is the leader of our defense.
Yes, sir. But yeah, it was getting as bad as the Goff discourse, not to highlight that, but you get what I'm saying. But yeah, man, like if I were to pick like a, who's going to dominate between like our interior O-line, like a Lehman Reader versus our linebackers, call me crazy. The linebackers might show out more because they can make tackles for losses or get a nice tackle for like if they do an off tackle run, stuff like that.
I'm ready to see our linebackers keep it up, man. They have been balling.
I was going to say, shout out to the linebackers because they had 3 sacks last week and I think 25 tackles between Rodrigo, Nowaski, Campbell, and Anzalone.
Yep.
25, bro? I didn't know that. Sheesh.
Yeah.
Like, trust me, I was saying they were cooking, but damn, that's cooking, bro. Damn. That's like old school cooking right there, Day.
I want to see, because I think our D-line is going to get a lot of rotation today just because of the holes we're missing. I want to see Wingo get more time. I'm ready to see him. I like him a lot. When
Absolutely.
he's always in there.
To that point, this is definitely a game to get creative with the rotation, see where Wingo does on the edge. Maybe Pascal gets inside looks. Just get creative and see what you have in this situation.
Pascal's injured. He's not playing.
Oh, is he? My bad, fellas. My bad. I'll take the L on that.
Well, how many sacks you guys think we get for the day? I don't know why it says tonight. Shout out to Bandit, not knowing what time we play.
I mean, we all.
Mike, you're on mute.
I want. Well, we got 4 last week, but I want to see 4 to 5 sacks come from that defensive line, man. Like I think we only got 1 sack from the defensive line. I think Pascal had 1. I think the other ones came from linebackers and blitzing. But I want to see constant pressure, and because we're not going against the same offensive line talent that we were going against last week. So I want to see some more pressure from the edges, and I want to see some more production sack-wise from that defensive line.
To my
Team
point,
needs to get one today.
Oh, my bad, Rich.
Oh, you're good.
No, go ahead, Rich. I'll let you cook.
No, that's all I was saying. Aleem needs to get one today.
Yeah. To Mike's point, I agree in terms of like we should be able to feast considering their O-line difference in talent. My mind is telling me we get about 2 sacks to answer the question or the little PowerPoint. Not trying to poo-poo or anything, just trying to give a educated guess because we are struggling with edges. If we do get more sacks, you would hope it's the interior D line like Reeder and Aleem doing business. But AG's been doing a very good job with blitzing the linebackers to get sacks. So to Mike's point, I definitely hope it's 4 or 5 sacks to his point because, as a defensive guy, you love to see that shit.
Yeah, I want to see 3 from the D line. Really, I'm looking for the D line. It's nice to get sacks and stuff from the linebackers. That means the D line's still kind of doing their job. They're clearing it out, so linebackers can get in there. But I'm looking for 3. 3 from the D line alone. It'd be nice. Definitely constant pressure, and look for the run game to stay stout.
That's
to
that point, Dave. Not to interrupt. I feel like that should be the main focus. We want to see constant pressure because if we get constant pressure, that'll make us feel more confident about us moving forward due to the obvious issues we have at edge, basically.
If you shut down Tennessee's run game, you'll win automatically because that's what they try to do. They try to get it going with Pollard, and if they got to get in obvious pass situations, that's when they get in trouble.
100%.
Well, talked about the D line. Let's talk about this guy. Does he get one off Mason Rudolph today?
Yo, I thought that was a JMO jersey. Nope. Real quick, Day. That's awesome. You got an Ancient Zero jersey. I love it.
Yeah, I think he's getting closer. I think these last couple of weeks he's been playing cleaner football. I don't think he's been flagged. I don't think he was flagged last week at all. So I think his coverage has always been good this year. He's always been close. So I think he's finding a way to be close without being as handsy as he was earlier in the year. And I think that pick is coming sooner than later.
100%, Mike.
I'm not going to disagree with Mike. The only thing I'm going to say is if you watch the game, they really don't throw to his side that much. So, I mean, it's hard to get picks if they're not throwing to your side. Like, they'll go to Davis more and the slot. They don't really go to TA's side too much. Am I the only one noticing that?
I mean,
no, honestly, Rich.
Yeah, you're right. They don't
honestly,
really
Rich, because go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
No, you can go, Blue. I can go.
Okay, yeah, no, Rich. I can see what Rich is saying because, when we do highlight Terry on a replay or maybe back in the film, to his point, it'll be always like Meek or Davis. For not for good or bad, just in general, just looking at the film, Terrion's been good, man. Like they don't throw at him because he has been sticky. To his credit, he's been low key cooking and not trying to glaze him, saying he's like Revis or anything, but he's doing his job as what we wanted him to be when we drafted him. I would say, to answer the pick question, I mean, you feel like it's coming. You feel like it's definitely coming, but I would say it's got to be a very specific situation, maybe like a red zone situation, I would say. I feel like that's like a safe bet. Now, he could probably do it on a 3rd and 7 situation, like downfield situation, but I guess the safe bet for me, if he were to get that pick, maybe in a red zone situation, because I feel like TA's game is perfect for like those smaller situations. Not saying he can't do it down the field, but when you're a man corner, it's easier to get those picks in red zone situations, short yard situations. But that's just my opinion.
Anybody else?
No. Everybody looking up them hoes on them fucking phones.
All right, one last question about this because Bandit put this in here. He won't let this die. And I clicked on it not knowing what it was. So let's answer the question. Does this bum step up today? Does James Houston make do anything today. Anybody? No? Silence, crickets and James Houston,
well,
just like his game this
I
year?
didn't want to interrupt again, but I guess I'll go now. Yeah, was a big fan of James Houston. I feel like, bro, he's just going to get one of those stupid cleanup sacks, and everybody's going to glaze him and be like, oh, he's back. And because he's not a good against the run, he's a designated pass rusher, which is fine. It's just that he hasn't been showing up in that situation. And I mean, I hope I'm wrong, bro, but I just feel like he's going to be a ghost out there besides a cleanup sack. Possible cleanup sacks, excuse me.
Yeah, I don't care for this question. I'm not even going to answer it, but I'm going to go back to what I was talking about in the last segment.
Damn.
So the TA Carlton Davis, I think it's more so of a matchup thing. Like, I think when they get matched up against the team's number one receiver, that specific cornerback is going to see more targets, because I was just looking up stuff to see if I could back what I was going to say. So, and it looks right. So the Cardinal game, Marvin Harrison Jr., TA got the most targets there because he was on Marvin Harrison the longest in that game. So, and the same thing with Seattle. When we played Seattle, they were going at Carlton Davis because who was he guarding? He was guarding DK Metcalf. So, of course, you're going to see more targets. I think both guys, they've been sticky in coverage. Both guys been, I think, in my opinion, great in coverage. Besides the penalties, and they told us on the broadcast last week, AG is going to live with those penalties because that's just an aggressive style of defense that we play. We want to get our hands on receivers. So I think it's more so a matchup thing versus which cornerback are they targeting thing, like which quarterback are they going after. So that's all I got to say for that topic. This topic we got right now is a non-factor. So again, I'm not answering that.
Good point, Mike.
Yeah, we'll move on from the James Houston thing, and we'll just continue with what you were saying, Mike. We'll just keep talking about secondary. You know, how do they match up against these wide receivers and tight ends from?
Hey, one
Titans?
thing real quick. So the Lions showed up today as in costumes for Halloween, and boy, Isaiah Thomas, who we just picked up, he came dressed as Isaiah Thomas.
No shit, like the jersey and everything, Rich.
Yeah, he had the Isaiah Thomas jersey on.
Dog, that is so cool. Bro, that shit will be legendary if he pulls off a good game. But to answer your question, Dae, in Mike's words on the last segment, it shouldn't be a discussion because no disrespect to the Titans wide receivers, this should be a buffet for our secondary, especially our safeties. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that because our corners match up very well against their wide receivers, you know. Maybe a pick, maybe two, maybe a couple deflections. Like, nobody really scares me because, correct me if I'm wrong, besides D-Hop, there's not really – well, nobody's D-Hop, but besides the D-Hop trade, like, nobody really scares you. Like, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Calvin Ridley hasn't been that great this year. And, yes, he's established. Has a decent resume, but he's just not that guy to put the fear in the defense by himself. So it should be set up for the secondary just to feast, bro.
Yeah, I'm Blue. I don't see a problem. I don't see a problem with the defense. I don't see a problem with our secondary. The wide receiver options they have and the tight end options they have is we've faced much better this season, and we've done well against much better competition. I don't see it being an issue at all. Like, I think everybody can feast in that secondary today if we get pressure.
Facts, Mike. Rich, you had something, bro?
Go ahead, Rich.
Oh no, shit. Yeah, I think we can feast too, man. And I think we've all learned because I've heard several guys when we gone against different tight ends were worried about it, and Kirby Joseph, man, he's I don't know if it's him working with Branch, so he got a stud working with him, and they work really well together. I don't know if it's he got better corners, so he feels like he can just do his job. He ain't got to worry about covering other people's butt. But Man, he's went to that next level, man. Like all around game. He's phenomenal.
I think it's all the above, Rich, because rightfully so with Brian Branch because he's a dog. Kirby Joseph entered that I want to say I'll say it, elite status as a playmaking safety. As a playmaking safety, bro. Like if you make a wrong decision, bro, you're gonna pay it against that dynamic duo. And Kirby Joseph, he's no slouch when compared to Brian Branch because he's more of your turnover guy, or I would say not turnover guy. I lost my fucking point. Bear with me, fellas. But yeah, I mean, what else is there to say about Kirby Joseph? We have the best safety duo in the National Football League. I am not scared. Like
second best.
DaeDae, don't do this. Don't do this,
Man,
DaeDae.
don't, Blue. You know.
Who's the better duo? Come on now.
Atlanta safeties. Justin Simmons.
Are you going by resume or right now?
A little bit of both.
Resume, I can give it to them because they're more established, but man, Branch and Joseph, bro, it's kind of hard to not take them now.
It don't matter if they're 2 or 1 or 3 or 4. They're solid and they're playing good ball.
And not only that, Rich, like I was about to say before I got DaeDae said something like, bro, like I know a lot of people are freaking out about the Hutch injury. I am too. We all it's common sense to worry about what your defense looks without a guy like Hutch. But man, I am not afraid of anybody in this league. Even if we get to the fucking Super Bowl and Hutch can't play, bro, we'll be in a situation to be in that game all game long to where, like, God forbid, a quarterback makes a mistake or two. Branch and Kirby Joseph are perfect for that situation to kind of tilt the game in their favor. Like that's how good our fucking secondary duo is. You make 1 or 2 mistakes, it's game over for the other team.
Yeah, you leave that ball floating just a little too long, you're gonna come get it.
Or let Branch jump a route, or Kirby just gets underneath the wide receiver or the target. Sheesh.
Well, that's all we got for topics. Anybody got anything they kind of want to throw out there before the game starts? Anybody want to read their bet slips? I mean,
and just to touch on that last topic, what Blue was saying with the best safety duo, like I said the same thing in that pregame show we had with the Vikings guys, and we had Vikings guys in the chat laughing and stuff talking about Detroit. Like, I think people got to do a better job at watching other teams too. Like, you can't just watch your own team and think 100%. Everybody is the best or worst. You got to see other groups in the NFL as well. So I think we got them last week. We're going to continue to get them because people always sleep on us, even with us winning. So that's all.
They'll learn one day, Mike.
They'll learn.
We're the most slept on 5-1 team out there, bro.
They'll learn pretty soon, man. Like it just gets crazy. Like all the and we're starting to pick up more and more national coverage and more national people coming to board or whatnot. But man, like even some of these fan bases, though, like on the spaces, on the on the shows when you do crossover shows like we did last week, they be so disrespectful, bro.
Bro, Mike,
talking about we don't have no defense, our defense ain't all that, and blah 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 blah. Then don't even show up to the post game show.
Yeah, Zoe ducking,
Mike,
bro.
Mike, watch me become the new dynasty, and then like 2 Super Bowls in, they'll be like, oh, it's still the Lions. I bet you, because of our stupid ass history.
That'd be phenomenal.
All right. Before we get out of here, we'll shout out to the 175 people that tuned in this morning.
Appreciate it.
If there's any other teams of any other fan bases out there, we would actually like to do a cross show whenever we can, before our games and then after the games, as long as you show up, whether you win or lose. Don't be ducking like these Vikings fans out here.
Shout out to Woods, though, because he showed up pre and post game.
And DaeDae, can I add to that, even though I'm not consistent on the pod? I'll say also, if you do show up, please come with good arguments. I'm not trying to be disrespectful when I say that because we've been running into a lot of problems. Mike will know what I'm saying here. They always highlight box scores. They do what ifs, and they don't come with schematical game plan or any like hardcore football arguments. We just want good arguments, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're it's one thing to say like, you know, the stats arguments and stuff like that, but it's bigger than that when we want to actually talk ball.
Exactly. All right. Well, when we give our score predictions, and then we'll get out of here for the day and go watch the games. Rich, want to give your score prediction?
42-10.
Sheesh. 42-10. Mike?
I'm gonna go. I'll go like maybe 35-14, somewhere around there.
Blue?
Damn, this is a good question. I'll say 33-17 Lions.
I'm gonna go 38-3. I think.
Damn.
I think this is another week our defense doesn't give up a touchdown. You know, we didn't do it against Dallas and that whack ass team they got over there. So I think it's 38-3. I don't think we allow another touchdown today. So
Prime position to do that day. I agree with you.
man, fuck them. Fuck the Titans this week. All right. Well, I'll let everybody talk themselves out of here. So, Rich, go ahead. Let them know where they can find you.
I just wanted to say, add one thing. I just read Patriots healthy scratched Uche, so I'm sure he's on the move somewhere.
He'd be a nice pickup.
He's a lion. Bet.
Richard, you can find me on X at Riggs928.
Mike,
you can find me on X at @1pry_JR.
and on the PlayStation beating Rich's ass in NCAA football.
Yeah, Rich can't see me. Rich cannot see me in college football. He be trying, though. He be trying.
I've never beat you, Mike.
Out of the 15 games we played, twice.
Oh, hey!
I've only personally seen it twice myself. So
no, you see me 3 times and I beat you 2-1. So, bam!
You talking about DaeDae. You ain't talking about me.
You got me. I ain't gonna lie.
I will say, in DaeDae's defense, though, he just got the game like last week.
I don't give a shit. A week.
Hey, Rich wasn't doing a whole lot on me, though. We ain't gonna sit here and act like Rich beat my ass or nothing.
Rich was struggling, bro. Hey, Rich, you was a win. You was a loss away from being the worst college football player in the group chat, bro.
Even worse than Chris, and he don't even play.
Yeah, I would rank Chris ahead of Rich right now.
Nah, bro. Respectfully,
know where they can find you, Blue.
Keep that same energy.
Before I talk about that, respectfully though, I might be the worst college/Madden player here because I get too Brett Favre sometimes. So you guys can find me on Twitter at bsilver92. I should have put in my tag, but I think
Blue.
Yo,
my fault, Blue. But Brett Favre was rich today, bro. He threw 2 pick sixes in a row.
Bro, I would be throwing 4 picks a game, bro. It was always because I was always playing with the Lions, bro, growing up, because God forbid I had to play with Stafford and Calvin, and I had to feed them. But yeah. Anyway, bsilver92 on X. I'm pretty active on there, fellas. Always doing spaces. Always love to talk ball. And that's about it.
Party.
Relax.
Always.
What happened, guys? What happened? What did I miss?
We talked about that like 4 hours ago. But
J-Mo, what do you mean, J-Mo?
You can find me
need to chill,
on
man.
Twitter at Markham246. And with that being said, y'all.
That was a good pod, guys.